Okay, so Uranus. Uranus. Hey, that's not bad. Why don't we call it Uranus when they combine? It's just like J-Lo and what did they used to call J-Lo and they're together again, right? Ben Affleck. Who was it? What did they call those two? J-Lo and Bennifer. Was it Bennifer? Oh gosh, I don't remember. There was something for Brad Pitt. Brangelina. Okay, we'll call it Uranus. That's so silly. Okay, Uranus and Jupiter are combining, conjoining, becoming one. The new it couple. in Taurus, and wow. Yeah, if you've heard this is a once in a lifetime kind of situation, it's not that Jupiter and Uranus combining or conjoining is a once in a lifetime thing, because it happens every 13 to 14 years. Okay, but it doesn't combine in Taurus very often. The last time it conjoined in Taurus was in 1941. Before that, we had to go back to 1853. And when I looked further back, it had to go all the way into the 1600s. So let's just say it's not usual. It's not something that happens very often. So what does it even mean? Jupiter is the greater benefic. It's, makes everything bigger, optimistic, lucky. It's that big brother of the universe that, it can also be full of itself. Can be a little bit ostentatious, big. In a way that's annoying, but in this case, I think it's bringing the best of itself, and it's combining with Uranus. Uranus doesn't need much help to be itself, right? But when it's with Jupiter, it makes an even bigger opportunity for the best and brightest, most extreme version of authenticity. When these two planets conjoin, it's like a new moon, and it's not as if something happens on that day. Okay, that's one thing about astrology. I think it gets a little bit confusing. It's a whole entire cycle of 14 years that it's flavoring. So in about 7 years, we're probably going to see the fruits of whatever is being set right now. Now, Taurus, what does it have to do with? It has to do with material things like food, money, what makes us feel comfortable, makes us feel secure, all the things that are having to do with the earth. When you look outside or you see the clouds and you smell the air and you see things growing and you're feeling it, and it's like, that's Taurus. That's that moment where you're like, my goodness, what a beautiful world this is. What a beautiful world. Jupiter represents spirituality as well. So it's bringing in the meaning element. What is the meaning of this? Where can we reach that's a more spiritual connection to like the Gaia principle? And Uranus has been messing a little bit with Taurus for a while, since 2018, and messing with it, which is, you remember how there was a while there in 2020-ish that things were kind of weird with everything, but also with building supplies, where the cost of wood went up to a crazy amount of money. Yeah, so that's sort of the thing. And also a lot of the stuff that has to do with currency and money and all that, a lot of that's changing, and it will continue to change. And that might be, this might be a moment where that gets even bigger. And likely within the next 7 to 14 years, there's going to be a huge change in the monetary system and globalism and all that jazz. But I digress. So I have a few books that I wanted to read from. The first one was this, obviously, The Archetypal Universe, Ren Butler. But one of the principles he has here is dramatic breakthroughs. So that's something you might be expecting, but it's not just on the one day, because it's been already happening. It ramps up, with it's within 5 degrees and on either side. Like, it's pretty significant. And they're such slow-moving planets that it just is. It's not so pinpointed, but it's more of a flow of that energy. So some sort of breakthroughs that have been happening maybe already, but within the next week or so as well, 2 weeks, and quantum leaps. Quantum leaps, sudden unexpected openings and awakenings, exciting feelings of freedom and space, imaginative or Promethean types of ecstasy. So Prometheus is the one that Cosmos and Psyche, Richard Tarnas, he equates to Uranus, the Prometheus principle. That's the story where Prometheus went and steals the fire for the humans and has to pay for it. And in this book, Cosmos and Psyche, there's a whole entire chapter of so many incredible things that have happened in the time of Jupiter and Uranus conjunctions. It goes on and on and on. I mean, a lot of it is scientific discoveries, big ones like Galileo, Copernicus, all the way to Max Planck, physics of what's his name? Newton. That guy, you know, that guy. Yeah, this book is kind of heavy and heady, and it takes a little bit to get through it, but it does have a lot of good information. Another one is Nietzsche. Nietzsche is born with a Uranus and Jupiter conjunction in his chart. And here's one of these quotes from him. It says, "There are 1,000 paths that have never yet been trodden. Humanity and humanity's earth are still unexhausted and undiscovered. Watch and listen, you solitaires. From the future come winds with a stealthy flapping of wings, and good tidings go out to delicate ears." That's from Thus Spoke Zarathustra. Good old Nietzsche. Uranus, what is it? Uranus is the path to individuation. It's extreme authenticity. So basically, if you were born after 1941, this is the only time in your life that you're going to be getting this conjunction in the Taurus section of your chart. It's a real once in a lifetime thing. It's not coming through again till after the maybe 2100 or something like that, whenever that's going to be like. Geez, when does it go back in? Yeah, 2107. I don't think I'll be here. One way I like to try to figure things out is looking at the Sabian symbol. So this degree is going to be 22 Taurus, and that's a symbol of a white dove over troubled waters. Taurus 22, reading the signs. Nature will always produce some symbolic expression of the currently important message for those who can read the signs. Reading the mysterious symbols in nature. That sounds really nice for this Taurus energy. I think so many people have gone away from the natural world. I mean, it's just much more convenient to do things in the more convenient way. I don't know. But we've lost a lot of connection to nature and the signs that it gives us. Every day I have to drive about a half an hour each way. So about an hour drive into the country to take my kids to school. And every day I see animals. And I think about them. I think like, okay, that's what animal did I see first? Which animal, what was it like? What was it doing? And I feel like that's something that is an older practice that people used to do, take the signs from the animals and learn from their wisdom. One thing I wanted to show you is this is called the Wild Unknown, and it's the pocket version of the Spirit Animal deck. And I just have been really enjoying it. So basically what I've been doing is a practice of pulling a card or multiple cards if they want to come out. So let's pull one just for fun and see what comes up. The elephant. So the elephant that's really interesting. All right, let's see what the Sheish says about the elephant. Unstoppable, auspicious, and wise. The elephant is arguably the most auspicious figure in the deck. Like Ganesh, the elephant represents immense wisdom as well as good fortune. It's said that the great elephant is the destroyer of obstacles. So this card appears when you feel stuck. Rest assured the path will soon become clear. To add to the mystery, the elephant is also known to create obstacles in order to steer us in the right direction. Trust this gentle, noble creature. It illuminates the way with a light of self-knowledge. To bring it into balance, trust. So that kind of brings me back to this white dove over troubled water. It's a sign, right, that there's some troubled waters. I mean, life is just full of them, the ups and downs, the things that happen to us that are difficult. And the white dove is a symbol of peace. It's a symbol of hope. And that there's always that on one side of the other side. We have both. James Burgess kind of goes on to say that in Sufism, the white dove is the symbol of Holy Spirit, and that there is a part of us that's deep and abiding that resonates with that image of the spirit of the bird. And this is part of us that can be identified as the guide. If we find an external version of this feeling, then we're directed toward that person or instruction. Otherwise, we're drawn to simulate this sense of perfection on a deeper, more personal, inner level through situations, peoples, and ideas. Okay, now I want to tell you a little story. When I was very young, we went to the movies a lot because we didn't have air conditioning, and so my parents were young too, and we just didn't have much. So going to the movies, we'd just sort of stay there all day until it got cool outside. And when I was about 3 years old, we went to go see The Last Unicorn. And this is one of my first memories. I was just thinking about it recently, and I'm like, gosh, I really, really remember how I felt watching this movie as a very young child. The feeling I had was a lot of fear, a lot of worry, concern. It's a heavy movie for a little kid that doesn't really know the difference between reality and non-reality, but the mythology of it was like layered deep into my psyche because of that feeling. Basically what his story is, if you don't know it, is there are unicorns, and basically there's this one guy that does not like them. This guy named King Haggard, he does not like the unicorns, and so he's done his best to rid the world of them. And he's done a really good job because he has this bull that's on fire, a flaming bull that is able to herd the unicorns into the sea, and they can't get back out because he keeps them in there. And so the world without unicorns is really not going to be good because they bring purity and grace, and they bring some balance to the world. So there's one unicorn, and she's chill, she's happy, she's in her forest and everything's cool. But then one day she overhears these two hunters talking about unicorns, and they're trying to hunt them down. And they're like, no, there aren't any more. They're no more. They're gone. And so she overhears that, and she talks to a butterfly, and the butterfly's like, yeah, you just don't go anywhere. Just stay here, and if you see that red bull, this is not good news. Okay, so she's like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Am I going to have to go figure this out? So she leaves her forest, of course, and she's never left a forest. She comes across this one lady who's running the sideshow carnival thing, is a creepy old lady, and she gets caught right away. Then she meets a magician, Schmedrick, I think his name is, and Schmedrick helps her escape. So they escape, and they decide they're going to go solve this mystery of what happens to all these unicorns to see if they're really all gone. Oh, the bull shows up. That's right. That's what happened next. And so the bull catches wind that there's a unicorn. So he's activated, and he starts chasing her. Schmedrick, even though he's a crummy magician, apparently, he's able to do a spell to change her into a human. So now she's human, and once she's human, the bull's like, no, I'm not into you. Unicorns are nothing. So he just kind of turns around like, oh, yeah, that's cool. And so they go to find the rest of the unicorns, and they end up at the castle of that king. The king has an adopted son. His name's Lear. And so they get there, and they're like, can we come and be part of your court? And for some reason he says yes. I don't remember why or why not. And there is a different magician there, and the magician's like, what are you doing? He gets fired, and so Schmedrick gets hired. And in the meantime, Lear and the lady that was the unicorn, they start falling in love with each other. When they start falling in love with each other, she starts forgetting that she has to do anything. Like, she just is feeling human, and she's feeling more mortal, and she's feeling love. She's feeling all these things she's never felt before. And so she starts to lose interest in her quest to save the other unicorns. Now Schmedrick is like, whoa, this is not good. We still need to figure this out. I think there's another character named Molly, but I don't remember that character. And she works in the kitchen. She's with Schmedrick and the lady unicorn. And she talks to the cat. That's such a weird story. So she talks to the cat, and somehow the cat spills the beans about where the layer of the fire, the Red Bull, not the Red Bull like the drink, but the Red Bull. Long story short, too late. They find where the layer of the bull is, and so they all go down there to go, check it out. And Ham, the king, is on to them by then, and he traps them in there with the bull. When they're in there with the bull, Schmedrick has to come clean and say, this is not a lady, this is a unicorn. And Lear says, I don't care. I still love her. It doesn't matter. I love her anyway, whatever she is. And so she has to be turned back into a unicorn, because that just in that moment, the bull comes and he's ready to take her. And he knows now that she's a lady and a unicorn. So they turn her back into a unicorn so she can help herself and get out and run, but she won't. She won't leave Lear. She won't leave Lear's side. And so Lear has to he's trying to protect her, and the bull murders him, kills him. And that's when she really, she turns everything around, and she is so mad that she does what no other unicorn has ever been able to do. And she defeats that bull. She pushes him back into the ocean. I don't really know how, but when I was little, I was so freaking scared of that bull, and that there's no way she could do it. But of course she did. And she was able to put him into the ocean because he was a fire bull. He got wet, and then he was on fire anymore. I don't know. poor guy. I don't know, maybe he became a water bull and was like, cool, I'm done with this chasing unicorns thing. But anyway, once she did that, he was the gatekeeper and all the unicorns came back out of the ocean. Once she was done with her vanquishing of that bull, the castle of the king also fell down and he didn't make it. So he was out of the picture. She was able to revive Lear because she was magical. She was a unicorn, had a comb. Yeah, she was able to bring him back to life. And she wasn't going to be human anymore. And Schmedrick felt really bad because he turned her human, and now she's had these feelings. She's felt mortality, she's felt love, and maybe she won't ever fit in as a unicorn again. And poor Lear, he's like, his heart's broken too. And so the unicorn told Schmedrick, and she says, it's okay. If you hadn't turned me into a human, all the unicorns would still be gone. They'd be lost, and you helped me. In the end, she said it was worth it because she got to feel love. She got to feel love she'd never felt before. Okay, so what's the point of telling you that story? The point of telling you that story is that A, movies for kids in the 80s, bro, they were intense, and so good. You know, nowadays, what do kids have? Baby Shark? Where's the mythology? Where's the world building? Where's the imagination? Where's the heartbreak? You know, there was real heartbreak, and I was like, I felt it. I felt every minute of that movie. I still feel it. And the power that an individual has when they choose love over fear. She chose love over fear. She was in a revenge mode. Sure, I'll give you that much. I don't blame her. She was mad. But it also shows you how if she didn't have that experience, she would have never been strong enough to face the bull. If she hadn't lost something, she couldn't move forward. It's that hero's journey story. Every hero's journey starts when the hero loses everything and they have no other choice but to go forward. Yeah. I heard recently somebody say, when have you ever done anything of significant change in yourself when you felt comfortable? A lot of times we have to be uncomfortable to do things that are change and authentic change. Uranus is that pinpointed. It's removing all the things that no longer need to be there anymore. And a lot of times we want to hold on to it. So this could be a little uncomfortable too. This could be a situation because Jupiter makes it even bigger. So it's not all unicorns and rainbows or whatever you want to call it. The unicorn also has issues. The unicorn also has problems, okay? So I wanted to show you something that I bought. I got this on Etsy and I think it's so cool. Okay, so I'll show you. It's a play on that really famous painting. I'll put a picture of the other one so you can compare it. But it really feels to me like a beautiful moment of strength and power. So that's why I got it. It makes me feel like there's always more to us than we think. And there's more power inside of us than we give ourselves credit for. And I want you to feel that strength. I want you to feel that power inside of you, this massive Jupiterian, Uranian, powerful moment. And we can pull from the spirits, the earth, the animals. We can start to see there's so much more right in front of us. The thing about the world is there's messages hiding everywhere, and there's beauty in every single thing. There's beauty everywhere. Okay? Okay. Oh. The last unicorn. So these could be moments of divine grace where you really feel that acceptance from inside of you, from something that's higher, okay? All right, I like you so much just the way you are. I really do. And I'll talk to you soon.